Hey guys, so if you saw my video yesterday, at the end I was saying I was going to give y'all some tea on a story. So if you saw the video, this past week from the 4th until the 6th, I had 5 signings. So Friday, the 5th, it was crazy. I originally only had 2 signings, one at 1 p.m. and one at 6 p.m. So, the one at 6 p.m., they were about 40 minutes away from me. The one at 1 was only about 30-ish. So, excuse me, I keep saying so. I'm going to work on that. It's just me trying to think and flip through the files in my head. I'm going to try to stop saying so much. So, okay. Um, I only had the documents for the 1 p.m. Those were available the night before. So, that was the only one that was ready to go. I didn't have to worry about that one. That morning, I get up, getting ready for the day, getting ready for my 1 o'clock signing. The documents still aren't available, but I already talked to the lady the day before and told her, so she knew. And of course, I knew they were going to be available at some point. Maybe about an hour or so before I was going to leave, I got a request for a signing, a loan application. So I didn't need to do any notarizations or sign a bunch of papers. It was just the borrower filling out the application. I'm thinking in my head, okay, trying to factor in, can I throw this in? Can I not throw it in? Trying to think about, how much time I needed to get to and from, the other locations. And then I'm also thinking about, I still don't have my 6 p.m. documents. And that's over 130 pages twice. So I had a lot to think about. I'm thinking in my head, okay, they're only about 30-ish minutes away from me. I'll just go for it. I'll just squeeze it in. So I'd take the signing. And luckily those documents were available before I left for my 1 p.m. So I was able to also print those out. And also, luckily, I only need to print out 1 copy. So that was good. So I print those out, get those ready. I'm like, okay. I try to plan it out in my head. I'll go to my 1 o'clock signing, be done with them by 1:30, go drop those off to the FedEx, and be back by 2:15. I get back around 2:30. So, and by that time, my 6 p.m. was available to print. So I go ahead and start that. So as I'm printing out, I'm able to get 1 copy of the refinance documents printed. And I think in my head, okay, so if I leave early around 3:15, get there a little early, I'll make sure I leave by 4:30 so I can get back by 5 and have at least 10-15 minutes to print out that second package and go. I get to my signing and I get there about 10 minutes early. I left at 3:15. So because I left early, that cut into me printing out that second package. I left and I get there about 10 minutes to 4. So I get in there and come to find out he needs about 7 documents in order to get the loan application for the lender to, get it started or whatever. And these were some pretty important documents, like a mortgage statement. He did his note, proof of insurance and stuff like that, and a copy of his social security card and ID. So I get in there and I'm like, we get settled. I introduce myself, the normal stuff. And he's trying to figure out, he seems kind of flustered at first because of the stuff that he's trying to figure out, okay, do you need this? Do you need that? I'm like, yeah, I need this, this, and this. He's okay. He's giving me his social security cards and say, okay, I need a copy. Do you have a printer? And he says, no. So a few minutes later, I'm sitting at the table, just waiting patiently. And he says, I'll be right back. His wife is there as well. He says, I'll be right back. I said, okay. I didn't know he didn't say where he was going. I didn't know where he's going. I figured, okay, maybe he's going across the street or down the road real quick to go and print or get a copy of his social security card. okay. In my mind, I'm getting a little. It's like, okay, it's 4 o'clock. We still haven't even started. So he left. 10 minutes goes by. The wife, she's trying to make small talk with me. I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm glad I had my mask on, because if she could have saw my face, I was a little annoyed. But this is only the beginning. So 10 minutes later, she calls him and asks him, hey, where'd you go? He's like, I guess he went to Kinko's. And she's like, that's 10 minutes down the road. So that's 20 minutes there and back, not even factoring in the time it takes for him to get in there and copy. He was gone for 30 minutes, y'all.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
I mean, he left around 4, didn't get back to 4:30. Got back, and I found out he was just going to make a copy. If I had known that, and if he didn't feel comfortable with me, taking a picture of his cars, which I understand, I totally get that. But if that's the case, he could have took a picture of his social security card and emailed it to the loan officer, because we didn't end up having to call her at the appointment. So when it gets to 4:30, I was like, time is ticking. All of this is cutting into my 6 o'clock assignment appointment. So he gets back. We finally sit down, and I understand, he's filling out this loan application. He wants to read things and see what I get it. Take the time that you need. So I'm not going to sit there and seem like I'm rushing him. So I'm just sitting there, thinking about, trying to think 3 steps ahead of what I need to do. So he's going through the papers, and then he gets to the closing disclosure. He's having an issue thinking that he's going to be paying more than what he's paying for his most recent mortgage. So he wants to call the loan officer. I get her on the phone. He's asking her questions, talking to her for about 15 minutes. It's about 4:50. I don't know. It's probably 5 o'clock at this point. And my mind is racing. My nerves are getting bad. So he finally gets off the phone with the loan officer. Then so we're going through the app, getting through the papers. It was about 40 some odd pieces of paper that he had to, not necessarily sign all of them, but that we had to go through. And there were a couple of times where he stopped, got up to go talk to the wife, about the application, about certain things on there, not having a conversation, but all of that is just delay after delay after delay. I'm just sitting there. Oh my gosh. I didn't finish with him until 5:30.
Why are you crying?
I planned on being home, printing out those other documents by 5. So I'm already, yeah. And I forgot this part, but before he got back, after he left for Kinko's, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I did call my 6 p.m. to tell them, hey, I'm running into some delays. I probably won't be there till 6:20. And they're like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. So I'm glad they didn't cause a problem, or, didn't get real upset, or at least I didn't know that they did. But I did contact them to make sure, to let them know, because I knew I wasn't going to make it by 6. So I didn't leave him until 5:30. Rush home. Got there. I didn't get there till 6 because it took 30 minutes. Rushed. It took 15 minutes to print out that other copy of their documents. I leave out, and it's about 6:15, 6:20. It took 40 minutes to get there. So when I leave, I call him. I say, hey, unfortunately with my last signing, it was a lot going on. I was completely delayed. And he's like, okay. So I just didn't even try to have a conversation. I said, look, I'm on my way. I'll be there by 7. Try to apologize and all that. So I get there by 7. Luckily, they're really cool, lighthearted people, and they, weren't peed off. So we got through them. I was done with them by 6:30, in and out. But, no, I'm sorry, 7:30. I was an hour late to that signing because it was just a lot of things that I didn't factor in at the moment. But, after the fact, of course, I was able to breathe. It was done with. And then I turned in my documents to FedEx the next day. But sometimes, when you get those, you get the request on your phone, you really probably only have less than a minute to make a decision. Sometimes you don't have time. If you don't know where that address is, you don't have time to Google to figure out, okay, I'm only 20 minutes, I'll take it. Or I'm only 30 minutes, I'll take it. You don't have time to you know, calculate stuff. So it was a learning experience. It was hectic on that last Friday. I definitely learned from that experience. So I need to make sure that I have enough time to do what I need to do. And, yeah. That was my experience. It was crazy. But that 4 o'clock signing, they did give me a bottle of wine for my trouble. However, I'm just glad that the 6 o'clock signing, they were very nice, cool people, and they were able to work with me, and it was easy. So I know this isn't the first story I'll have, but this is my first story, and I don't know. Let me know what you guys would have done in that situation. If you had a signing and it took an hour and a half, how would you have felt? I would say I was annoyed, definitely. I'm glad I had my mask on so they couldn't see my face, but stuff happens, and I can't be too mad. I wasn't mad at them at all because he didn't find out he needed these items until the day of. So, granted, I mean, of course, it's going to happen. So, that is my story. The last few days have been an experience, and I'm so excited for the new future to, continue to work and get more and just elevate. And so, yeah, I'm proud of myself. I did it. I got through it. And here we're on a different week. I do have a signing tomorrow at 9 a.m., but they're only 15 minutes away from me. So, thumbs up on that. But I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting and subscribing. Hopefully, maybe I can meet some of you guys that are in Detroit or Michigan area in person, maybe sometime this summer. That'll be great. Yeah. So I will catch up with you later.